Welcome to On the Shoulders of Giants, a giant robot power hour discussing mechs across media, their stories, and why we love them. I'm Alice, and I'm joined by Brian.
Casting from the terrorism-proof pod today, boys.
And Nico.
Hey, don't forget your role as my work clothes.
It's time to get your A2 loadout, get in your Fuchikoma, and get ready to deploy, because this time around, I'm going to explain how putting my brain case in a sexy naked Greek statue as a centerpiece in the room is actually a top-tier spy move. Ghosts in the Shell 2026, Episode 5. Let's launch into it. Hey pilots, Alice here. Not to be an anime heroine with you here in the break, but well, I called you back behind the school for a really important reason. It's just, I've been so happy spending all this time together, talking about mechs, watching giant robot anime, and building gunpla kits together. All those wonderful days, laughing at the silly plot of Price of Smiles, sharing G-Savior with our friends, and even when we all cried at Pacific Rim 2. I really cherish you pilots, and that's why I can't keep this inside of me. I have to ask you a question. Okay, here goes. Will you please rate our podcast 5 stars? It really helps us with the algorithm. I mean, you can share with your friends too, or just post about it incessantly online. It would mean so much to me. Whew, glad I got that off my chest. Well, alright pilots, see you back in the episode.
That is bad ending, Alice.
I do like that he presented it as sort of like a GI Bill, sort of compensation for terrible service, for pain.
I deserve that. The name of our episode is Phantom Fun. Guys, it's the 5th episode. This is the halfway mark. Mm-hmm. We're doing it. Look at us.
I'm glad both Brian and I immediately tweaked the terrorism-proof pod. That was my first pick for bit to open, so I'm glad I had a second one on deck.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Okay,
the terrorism-proof pod made me literally I was sitting. Kyle had to look over at me like, "Are you okay?" Because I was fucking howling.
My terrorism-proof pod.
In it. Okay, yeah. Just jump right. What was happening?
Can we get a summary? Because honestly, I have to talk about Methuselah.
Okay,
and I need a summary before I talk about Methuselah.
Okay, thank you.
Here's the summary of the episode. Section 9 gets tipped off by the Russians that a Russian national is in their country doing bad things. So Section 9 gets deployed to a geofront megacity in the highly cyberized North. The Fuchikomas come along, and boy howdy are they going to get into some antics this episode. There's a lot of high-speed counter-spy action and eventually a giant fight in a sewer that leads to Section 9 once again being a puppet in a grander power struggle in the Japanese government. The Major goes to confront and kill the bad guy for this episode, and in a really cool sequence does so. And then we wrap up the B-plot of Bato's dead recruit, and I cried a little. And that's what happened in this episode.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so we start with the most swagful, swag confirmed Aramaki. He can't keep getting away with it this time. A Russian woman.
There's this episode really shows off, I think. I keep saying this. I think the every episode is doing a better job at what the show is trying to do than the last one, I feel like. And with this one of the things that's happening here, and this directly has to do with Aramaki, is that it's like spidered across all of these implicated larger textures with these characters that
yes.
That if you're very familiar with the franchise, you can pick up in it, and it adds all this richness. So, like, for example, this is very evocative of the various Aramaki swag relationships up to and especially the sommelier one, which, if you recall, I fucking called last episode. So
you were like, Aramaki will have Riz in the next episode. And I was like, didn't you specifically say it was going to be wine related? And you're like, no.
Yeah, but I just feel like I've been the chilling Aramaki portents. I've called like 3 in a row on this show. So
all right, this is all very good. Can we back up to the shit that matters, Alice?
Yeah.
I need you to give us a tight 15 on the Major in a latex bodysuit while Bato and her discuss the specific chambering
latex
and
bodysuit?
shell removal of the Cerberus. So can you guess
her tear
Latex
down,
bodysuit.
her tear down of these weapons and their inefficient return of fire rate.
and then it just does a
goodness.
full body pan up of her wearing a bodysuit under a trench coat and
Oh, that is what's under there, huh? Okay, yeah.
My favorite
I see
part
what you're
is
saying.
100% accurate. Love guns. Guns good. Honestly, this episode, you might have noticed, but I think Bato's pistol is chambered in like 223 or something. It's insane. The gun lovers are thirsting for this episode. I'm thirsting for the Major in all of this episode. Guys, it's official. She's hot.
it wasn't official before. And now we need to talk about the thing that I'm obsessed with, which is the fucking Fuchikoma sees a pig, another mech, and somebody says, Fuchikoma, don't touch that mech. And Fuchikoma immediately makes a direct brain-to-brain connection and experiences ego death.
Love the way to prompt what we are going to fight later. Obviously, but it's wrapped up. You're transiting a tank, and it's wrapped up in padding. And I just
you're saying we're gonna fight the tank later? Yeah, probably.
I love their connection. That's great. But I was just like, what are you wrapping up a tank? It's a tank. It can get dinged up. It's a tank.
I love that. That's what you
No.
focused on here. That's so fascinating.
You've
to me.
never seen a tank being transited across the country, and they're like, we got to put
No.
padding on this thing.
Well, maybe whoever bought it through eBay, and so there's like the seller's guarantee, and they're like, listen, it's not worth us delivering it, and them being like, oh, actually, I'd like a partial refund because it was dinged.
Because it was danged. Yeah, you know what this needed was the big styrofoam blocks that are like form fit to the sides that you have to like wrestle off.
And then the loud styrofoam squeaking noises of Fuchikoma pulls one off to get to the connection port.
But this is one of two really all-timer cyber moments that happen in this episode. And this weird pixel interpolation effect, this like intentional artifact glitch with the screen. There's a word for this like use in animation. I don't know what it is. If somebody knows what it is,
Well,
let
this
us know.
kind of artifacting is what you see on things that have been like pixel crushed, who have been like that have
Pixel
been,
crushing,
like,
I think, is the word I might have been looking for.
Yeah, it's the specific thing that happens with like low resolution video, especially streamed low resolution video. And I love that the effect, it's so well executed that every time it happens, I kind of go, huh. Oh no, that's on purpose. That's on purpose. It's not that Amazon is like throttling my stream. That's on purpose.
Which makes it really cool.
Yeah.
So that's
Alice,
just
are you good?
Oh shit.
I'm responding to a work email. 1 second.
No worries. I just wanted to check.
Oh. It's on the webcam. It looks like Alice just kind of like looked over to the side and is just staring down at nothing.
She went Victorian doll again.
But yeah, this and the like rainbow neuron flash that happens is very reminiscent of when the puppet master's talking to the Major in the manga. Alice, I'm sure you caught that.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it's very good. It was a great way to like transit it from a still image into an animated one. Like it fully read. This is a very well drawn episode. Just like from the snowy peaks at the beginning, with the Major just slotting it up with those goggles. Oh, the eyewear in the Ghost of the Shell 2026.
The eyewear is so good.
I want to get my big highlight out of the way, which, like, yes, all of the gun port in this is just beautiful because I'm so happy with tactics. I love all of this, but like, guys, did you see the cameo? Blink and you'll miss it. It's the two cat girls, the Puma sisters from the Dominion Tank Police. This is cute. I like when shit like this happens.
I believe I don't know if Methuselah is a manga character too, but I did want to shout out Methuselah again. This is the big like MILF that Aramaki's raising up. In the dub, she is voiced by Cassie Ewulu, who is Queenie in The Amazing Digital Circus. So that's another Digital Circus casting. But I recognized her immediately because she actually voices 3 of like my favorite characters in Battlesuit Aces of all places, which is that independent video game. I did an interview with all 3 of the main devs on that game, so you can go back and listen to that if you're interested. But she voiced 3 characters in that game. Lan Ying, who's maybe my favorite character, Kayin and Fatima. So
sick.
Just a fun fact for Miss
Great interview, by the
Methuselah
way.
and her terrorism proof pod.
Yeah, this and just before this, because where we come in is on the major doing like Overwatch for Aramaki as he does this handoff. We get Chekhov's oil, which is the
sure, yeah.
the Fuchikomas call in. The Fuchikomas have unionized. They all want organic oil, and she says, "You cannot fucking have organic oil. Do you want ants? This is how you get ants."
She literally
Which,
says,
Brian, I did see that you immediately posted that
Thank
to
you,
the
yes.
OC. Thank you for staying on top of it, because that was my note. It's very good. It's great. It's Chekhov's oil because it will become relevant later. But yeah, Methuselah is Aramaki's contact. She is huge. She is beautiful. She has blue lipstick, which is like the coolest thing you can do in a cyberpunk future, up to and including all the body
Especially if you're
mods.
Russian, especially if you're like a Russian cyborg diplomat.
that and like high heels that are also knives is like it, you know?
This is somebody's Cyberpunk 2077 character. Like, I'm pretty sure I have
100.
this coat in 2077.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But she's quickly exiting the episode in the aforementioned terrorism-proof pod. Y'all, okay, this is the question we have to ask. We are the most equipped to ask this question.
Yeah, okay.
If you're in the terrorism-proof pod and your
Okay.
plane is hijacked and it does 9/11 too, are you culpable or can you be considered a victim of this terrorist act because you were in the anti-terrorism pod, so presumably you survived?
Okay, and if you're a cyborg, to what degree are you a secondary black box of evidence?
Yes. These are all things we need to be considering about the terrorism-proof pod.
I think it depends. And here's what I'm going to say. I think if you land in the field, you have a good chance of survival. But I honestly think if you're one of the ones who hit the two towers, especially the one that hit the North Tower, you're deep under rubble. They didn't get down there for a while. And these pods don't seem like they have like long-term sustaining survival capabilities.
Would you say that you would be crunch wrapped?
You would be a crunch wrapped, yes.
Thank you. That was a joke for basically the three of us and nobody else.
Why didn't they just build the towers in a terrorism-proof pod?
Why didn't they build the World Trade Center out of the black box?
Jet fuel can't melt terrorism pods.
Okay, I'm raising my hand, and I'm raising my hand so that I can give the podium over to Alice because I know she wants to talk about how they brought the original voice actors back for these Dominion characters.
Yeah, no, it's actually insane. The original VAs are back. They're beautiful. They expand this in a way that's very cute. I don't know. This is just a great interaction. My favorite comment I read on this was, I'm so glad they kept this scene in. DPT and Appleseed deserve their own Tegets experience. And it made me think, what if this gets us a better Dominion? What if this does? What if this is the launching point?
Oh, fascinating.
I
would be
to
fascinated
dream.
by that. Yeah.
You know, we need to dream. It's important. As someone who recently had Appleseed unexpectedly inflicted on her, because it just randomly came out as a movie night pick from my other group that I do movie nights with.
Oh
they
my
put
God.
that shit on, and I went, hold on, is this fucking Appleseed? And they said, yeah.
Oh, you finally saw it?
Yeah, against my fucking will.
Mazel tov!
Was it? I haven't seen it. Is it good? Did you like it?
No. It looks like ass, and it is ass, and they don't even have the courage to.
First off,
Anyway.
I hate that you took that first watch experience from the podcast listeners, so
Yeah.
jot that
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
You're hey, for our trial at the end of this episode, you know what it's about.
It was totally incidental. It was an accident that was done to me. I'm innocent. I was in the terrorism-proof pod, and my plane, aka the movie night, went down.
That is a tortured metaphor. Hey,
Wow.
this is I mentioned earlier
I'm
how this
pointing
spiders
you.
across a bunch of different implications for other Ghost in the Shell
Yes.
stuff. This Dominion scene is also very evocative of when the Fuchikoma buys that brain box from the black market, and it has that theater inside of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that was a great note. I just love this scene also because it has that gravity, and then it's also just a silly Fuchikoma, like Fuchikoma doing grand larceny and getting away with it because apparently this box is hot anyway, so it's likely that it will end up in the right law enforcement place regardless.
Hey, critical support for the shoplifting Fuchikoma.
Yeah.
I do want to say quickly before this scene, we had a little scene of Bato being an instructor in a little transparent orange visor,
With a
teaching
G3
the
assault
rookies.
rifle, A++.
Yeah, and he was I love Instructor Bato. He's yelling at them so good. And that is also a very brief Chekhov to the emotional, I think, subplot of this episode, which will involve the death of a rookie who we see very shortly has been turned into
Turbo death.
who's been turned into what's left of a chicken carcass that you get from Costco.
I'm sure nothing will happen with this. It's very jovial. It's very fun.
Yeah.
But again, to talk about your spider webs and your threads and everything, like this versus the training sequence from Standalone Complex, like it's so much different. Number one, the Major not involved. Number two, Bato shows his heart a lot in this episode. This and the oil.
Well, and that happened in that sequence on SAC too. It was just kind of sublimated under the we talked about this in the SAC episodes. You should go back and listen to those if you haven't. But the increasingly complex refugee terrorism plot. But they also had an arc in that show where Bato sent in a rookie and he died. That was just of a very quick thing that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But in this, it's much more like kind of front and center. It's one of like the main three plots of the episode.
Chest burstingly front and center.
Yes.
Hey, can we talk real quick about the fact that Ishikawa bribes the coroner to have the body handled respectfully?
It's so interesting.
The implications of that. Like, is the normal procedure to just have that shit turned into Soylent Green? Like, what is...
Yeah, the world state is very interesting with the geofronts and everything. Like, we're getting more than the manga gave us.
Okay, so this is what I was going to ask, because the other thing about this, because you brought up Standalone Complex, and you're also our manga correspondent, Alice, so my question for you is, like, my question was going to be, like, how much of this is the manga, because this exact plot with Sagawa Electronics, like, even that noun, is also a Standalone Complex episode. This is the lead up to that really good Kuze fight between him and Bato with, like, the piece of rebar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this all happens in that stretch of episodes. Even like the Russian cyborg, who in SAC turned out to be a zombie, but in this we don't really see him in that detail. But this episode kind of has to live up to that. And it also has to texture Bato's character in that same way, and I think it does such a good job of that. But yeah, so you're saying in the manga we don't really get the geofront thing, we don't get the far north. I call it Cyber and Orlando because it's like
we
this
do
weird
get it,
fucking...
but it more explores the specific characters, like the hacker that we meet. It gets more fleshed out. There's some more interplay there. But like,
and I do like the visual of the city itself, which reminds me of like the videos that people will take in like the hyper developed cities in China, where they're like, hey, the train station is on like level 5 of a city that in its densest part has 21 levels. And you can like take stairs or elevators or escalators through all these different levels. And like anytime I see a video of that, I'm like, holy shit, the cyberpunk future is happening, but only in specific parts of China. But apparently it's finally expanded to the north of Japan.
Well, and this is such a fascinating like political concept too, because these geofronts are basically just like they're like laundering mining operations to uncover wartime like technology.
Nazi gold, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Russian Nazi gold.
Yeah.
Oh, Russian Nazi gold.
Yeah, if
you know how
this is
it
another
is.
kind of blink and you miss it thing that Sack talks about a little bit more detail. But there was a point at which Russia had territory in Japan, and this is kind of left over from that.
Yeah.
World War IV wasn't great, actually.
And there's a very interesting, very concise world building that happens here when they head into the north. There's a series of shots. There's the market that we go to. But one of the shots I love, there's like this fucked up shark-headed cyborg, and he gets like 3 seconds to make a horrifying noise, which I love. And then like a whole bunch of this shit keeps happening to suggest, to me, it was meant to evoke like a Hong Kong or a Shanghai, like a hyper-developed city where things are just a little bit shadier and grimier than we're used to in our hyper-developed, shady, grimy city. But okay, a little bit. That's so fair because the 1,
These guys
2,
are
3,
shooting fully automatic pistols just in the street.
Do you guys remember that time we were walking down the street and a person drove by and axed me in the back and I headshot him from 50 meters away?
Of someone throwing an axe at the Major's spine. She caps them perfectly and kills them, and their truck goes off. And then someone immediately tries to sell her repair parts, and she calls them
new
a pervert.
skin. This guy's like doing the Eto fingers in the corner, and he's like, "Hey, I noticed you have a massive gaping wound in your spinal column."
Eto, would you like some of my skin? And she says, fuck off, pervert. Yeah. We head into some Fuchikoma action, and this is when we get to see the natural oil causing problems.
Yes.
The brakes
Can we
on the
talk about
wire have been
the
gummed
fucked up little goon guy that meets up with the major?
I love this guy.
Wait, is this the classic Ghost in the Shell classic? I have women as an item hacker freak.
No, the guy who leads
Oh no,
him there.
I meant his homie.
His
The
homie.
redhead.
The guy who's like, I gotta
redheaded
be
goblin.
polite to you, Mrs. Major.
He has like the stage makeup on. Is
Yes,
that who you're
And he
talking about?
walks in
Yep.
this super weird way.
Yeah.
I really loved.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
how he's
Ass
animated
waist.
walking.
He
Yeah.
is serving.
That guy,
He's kind of an icon.
He's kind of an icon, and I'm gonna kind of foreshadow this for a later conversation in this episode. But I think he may have out-gremlined the major in this episode.
That's very true. I believe that to be true.
I'm agreeing with you there. My one kind of note that I'm working in here, where as we get to this super hacker guy with his sex dolls, I like in this version how optic camo, specifically the optic camo that Section 9 has, is like the Rolls Royce, the like Cadillac version. Like they're like Sagawa Industries is like, we have like the best detectors. We can't see this shit. And like in the later fight, it's like even the floor sensors can't find this bitch. The major's just that good.
But also, I like the fact that, like, one of the considerations they have to have when they're going down to do the bust in the mines is that they can't use the optic ammo because it's too fucking dusty and humid. So, like, it defeats the way it operates.
Yeah, that they are actually spotted deploying because of this.
Uh-huh.
I know,
Yeah.
it's so cool.
I enjoy it so much. But yeah, so there's Fuchikoma combat. The natural oil starts to cause problems because Bato's Fuchikoma, the brakes on its wire system are gummed up. So it is not able to descend as quickly as the other Fuchikomas. And then later it gets fucking owned because it just like can't move. Its joints lock up. It's so
this is the best fight in the show so far. It's so good. Bato
Holy
like
shit.
one-on-ones. This the Russian cyborg guy.
Yep.
Who has a fantastic design again.
They get jumped by robots which are labeled military Type 24 armored suits. They move like freaks and they have
The dick gun.
/ penis guns.
The dick gun is back.
It's so
This
good.
is one of the best dick guns that we've seen in a while. I think talking about Brian, I really like you like echoing other properties. We have had the like underground I call it the tube fight with Mechs in like many versions of Ghost in the Shell. And this one, like, the kineticism of it, just how quickly things are moving, and just Bato's competency in this scene is just so fun to watch.
It's incredible. I love the moment when he repels out of the Fuchikoma because it's stuck. He just like jumps out. Oh my god, it's like Bato, as I think we've discussed, is infamous, I think, for doing lots of dramatic big jumps off of stuff. This is an all-timer one of those for sure.
Yeah, I think it's especially enhanced by the fact he does have a safety line. It just still looks cool as fuck when he does it.
Also, something we have to shout out, the redemption of our boy Failure. Togasa swinging through full speed in a Fuchikoma, one-shots one of these things
Great
with the
piloting
cannon.
from Togasa. Also, right here, because Bato caps the Russian guy because the Russian guy killed the rookie. This is part of his emotional arc in this episode. But we see Togasa echoing the exact thing the Major told him.
Yes,
The other
literally
episode.
almost quoting her.
It's so fucking funny. It's so good.
Did you catch the very important detail
What?
Togasa calls Bato senpai?
Oh no, I didn't. I didn't catch that.
When he swings in to save him, he's like, "Oh, don't worry, senpai," or something to that effect.
Yep.
And I went,
Fucking hell.
"Oh,
But while this is happening, we have the Major infiltrating the empty Sagawa electronics building.
I'm obsessed with this idea. The package conveyor up in the top of the wall. The fact things are so automated that people can live in shacks in the factory.
There's a beautiful shot. So this building is like completely automated. The front desk system is automated. The package delivery system, the internal mail system, everything we are shown is automated. It's all little robots or wall panels and shit like this. And then there's a shot where the Major is crossing a large area, and she is, like Alice says, pointing out that because so much of this is automated, There's no like human people to look in the weird places that the robots don't look. And so there are human people who have built shacks into these buildings. Like they're living in the spaces in between where the automated systems don't find them, which I am obsessed with. That is like the best part of Cyberpunk to me. That to me is what makes it Cyberpunk and not a fucking Apple store. It's so good. Can we talk about the piece of technology that endangered my life today?
Sure.
Alice, you look like you have something though before we go.
One cut. So there are also parts of the manga that they do cut that I think are just really interesting here. So like they tweak this assault on Sagawa Industries. When she goes to check in the manga, there are security guards in a room who are like, there's a photographer here. I don't see anybody on the log. And the other guy's like, whatever, she's got to pass. But they cut that. And it's just an AI being like, yeah, you got to pass from the guy she got earlier. And it's things like that where it was like, they were like, actually, there should be so few people here that, they don't even notice.
Those like kind of executive decisions.
Yeah.
I think it reflects a new level of automation, right? Because in the 80s, the automation was often like, you had a robot arm at an assembly facility, but you had to have like a team of people dedicated to managing that arm. In the 80s, like so many new technological advancements were implemented with a whole bunch of humans around it that made it work. And now we're at a point, for good and for ill, where a lot of technological advancements can be implemented, and where humans aren't around is where we see problems like other humans moving in and taking advantage of the fact that the automated systems can't detect them. But also, it's this really funny thing of like, there was almost this make work vibe in the 80s of like, well, a new computer system was installed and it made my job way more efficient, but I don't want to get fired and I don't want to stop getting paid, so I'm going to make it look like I have something to do here. So you have 4 security guys sitting around a fully automated facility having some coffee and cursorily checking a list, right? And it's like, that is just gone. Unfortunately, we're in an era where people are just firing people and then outsourcing it to like, these robots would be run, as we've discussed, by somebody in like the Philippines, right?
AI, actually Indians.
Yep. No, we need to talk about, so the Major infiltrates. She's like, I'm hacking in, and by hacking in, I mean, one robot rumbles her, and she immediately starts blasting.
She faces a horde of robot bugs. When she
Brian,
jacks
is this your
into
nightmare? Cop bugs?
The cop robot bugs were pretty bad.
ACAB includes
I had a hard
bugs?
time with that. But
Yeah,
I was
it does.
so back with the fucked up statue worm that it didn't even matter.
Fuck!
Yeah, so, but we have to talk about the technology that harmed me before that, because it's right in this little
wait,
thing.
what are we... okay, yeah, I need to know what you keep talking about with this.
So the Major gets in there, she finds out that the CEO is just a robot, she caps him, and the cum blood comes out, and he's just dead on the floor. So she starts going through the data that's on site. One of the things she does is she picks up a double-sided CD, and she clamps it into like a CD reader, and runs it. And
there's a word for this thing too, I think, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is. I was desperately trying to find out, because I was like,
so
I don't
write
remember
in, let
there
us
being.
know.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember there being CD players like this, but
it's not.
I
She's
vaguely
like
remembered
burning something. I think I'm not sure exactly what is happening.
I don't
with
know
that.
what she's doing here, but this device sent me on a.
Oh, is this why you were posting about that record player?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So this sent me on a dark quest, because I was like, I think there's a name for this type of disc reader. I want it for the episode. So I'm frantically Googling. And before long, the quest to find out the actual name of this device is lost, because I discovered the Audio-Technica Soundburger.
ADHD, everybody.
ADHD is a disorder characterized by wanting to buy an Audio-Technica Soundburger.
Okay, so I guess my question is, so like, okay, walk down a path with me here.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the cyber future, right? You're a hot ship major, you have a hot cyber body.
Yeah.
And you go on the train.
I'm putting my sunglasses on.
You're in Seattle still. You're in blank still.
No, I'm in Seattle. Everyone should know I am in the trans girl Debian future.
You sit down on public transit, and everybody has different sunglasses on because it's cyberpunk. And you look over and you make eyes with like a person exactly your type. You know, she's got 17 arms, whatever it is. And you're like making eyes and you're like, but how am I going to let her know that I'm a cool and hip person? And you reach into your courier bag and you pull out first the reader and then a full-size LP. And you put it in the reader and then you put on your headphones that you got like on like some audiophile website with the full setup, and you turn it on and you're just sitting there with this full-ass rig and they're like, beautiful.
Me and the bad bitch I pulled by having the Audio Technica Soundburger.
Listen, there are a number of women who heard the name Audio Technica Soundburger and went, wait, was Nico single? I don't remember. I'm kidding. I don't own this item, by the way. I'm just tormented by it. Because that was like the first result that came up. So this was made in the 80s in Japan only. This was a Japan-only thing, which I imagine is why it's called the Soundburger. And they re-released it for the anniversary, and then it was so popular, it sold out immediately, so now they've put it back in the regular lineup, and not only can you get a Soundburger that plays not just full-size LPs, but 45s in this clamp fashion, but you can get a case for it that looks like a takeout container. And anyway, I just wanted to say I was personally harmed by being led to the understanding that this device exists. And I will be suing Science Saru.
This is only $200 American.
Hey, yeah. Let me just say this. If this is your chance, everybody, if enough of you subscribe to our Ko-Fi at $1 a month and listen to Cars Don't Fly, we can get the Audio Technica Soundburger for Nico and find her a wife.
But like,
this is the only way it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I have to be able to get on the link line with a Soundburger and put on the entire getup.
What's the record you're pulling bitches with?
Well, I just got the Noir soundtrack.
The Noir soundtrack is the one.
I did just get the Noir soundtrack, which is kind of like Toxic Yuri soundtrack, but vintage.
All right, I want to talk about a keyframe that
if we
blew
must
my
talk about
tits
the
clean
actual
off.
stuff in this episode.
And it's in the same sequence. It's when the Major jacks into this suspicious terminal.
Mm-hmm.
This drawing fucked me in the street.
Oh, when she dives in? Up until this point, I've thought that the hacking, it read very well, but I wasn't, like, caught in the awe of it yet. We are officially in the awe of hacking. We are awoken. I have my third eye open. This is hot.
The way that this leads us into a great moment where the Major actually tells us the exposition instead of us having to pause and read a footnote so we can understand the piece of technology that we're talking about or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? This is when we find out about the operation, and this is when she starts to fight the worm, which I don't know. Worm is a fair descriptor.
The body in this room goes crazy.
Statue.
My note says the meat snake fake body. So
Meat
that
snake
was my
fake body is
pull.
good. Meat Snake Fake Body is my favorite harsh industrial EDM band.
Yeah. Hey, free band name. This guy's body situation is crazy, and especially it's crazy because this is still not his primary body.
Nope.
This is a combat body. We've been seeing it in the opening. We didn't know what it was. It's here.
I need listeners of this listen along. Please go into the Discord. Your question this time is: I need you to give me your 3 decoy bodies and your primary body in the future.
That's a good ass question.
Because this dude's entire setup is like, I love this. Physical security in this future is insane.
This is the coolest thing we've seen in the show so far, and that says something because the show has been unbelievable. Like, so I just don't even know where we go from here. Like,
because listener, if you're not watching it, I do need to describe this room. It looks like fucking Rococo shit. It's got columns.
It looks like Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence Core. It's got all of the European signifiers deployed in Japan when you just need to put wealth on the screen. It is doing classical art and everything. And out of a fucking wall compartment comes a torso without a head. And then from the waist down, it's this muscular tube wire snake that goes into the wall. This is the part that fights the Major while the head yells at her, "This is not the primary body."
No.
And to be clear, we also killed an old fat vessel guy who was at a computer who talked to people. Like,
that's the other
17
decoy.
layers in. Yeah,
that's the other decoy. Yeah,
we are deep in the decoys. The final body. Thanks for asking. You see those sexy women up on the ceiling? One of them has a kink for it, and she pops out. And okay, this is when this went from like a 10 to a 13 for me. Grabs a coat and throws it on because, of course, it's such a human thing. Yes, you're in the literal body of a fucking statue in a brain case, but you still have a humanity. This episode does a lot with, like, what it's still human to do a lot of things, you know?
This is so cold. I love this fucking moment so much because he gets into this other body, he tries to run away, and then he like rounds a corner and the Major has a gun to his head. And he goes on this like rant about how he's owed something for his years of service to the government.
My country.
And she says, "Life's a bitch," and caps him right in the fucking head.
It's pretty hard. It's pretty fucking hard.
So fucking hard.
Very, very, very good distinction. They don't show her killing him in the manga.
No, it cuts away. Well, it cuts away in this too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And that's so intentional.
Yeah, we just saw it. Just like when she got axed, we just saw her obliterate a guy behind the wheel of a car. Two things about this. One, at one point while defeating the meat snake, the Major has a fantastic Ojo-sama laugh. It's really great.
Yes.
It's a great performance. And the other thing I'll say here, there's a very interesting like gender valence happening here, because when he jumps off the wall in the body of this like idealized, for listeners, it's basically like, what if a European statue of like an ideal like chastity or patience or whatever jumped down off the statue it was on and started running away? I love that evocation of like classical statuary that's been animated and brought to life.
Yes.
It is female looking. It is female presenting. It has this body shape. And she calls him a pervert, I think, for wearing this. And he turns around and that's when he gives his speech about what he's owed. And I was so fascinated by this because I was almost like, do you feel what you are owed is the decadence that you're presenting here? And I'm using that term in the sense of decadence, degeneracy, fascist thinking. Like,
completely,
you feel you are owed this kind of lavishness to the point of preposterousness? Or do you feel like what you are owed is the ability to exist in whatever body you would like? And I think that those two readings can say different things about the Major's role in Section 9 as a kind of robot cop,
and also this guy.
Yeah,
I definitely read the former. Alice, what do you think?
Mm-hmm.
I like it as a multifaceted thing, but I think for me,
they're not in conflict either.
They're not in conflict. I think they're very much in conversation. I'm kind of sitting with your saying, Nico, because like, I don't know, this is one of those, like, the way it's played off, I don't think it's about the bodies. I do think it's about the decadence of it all, like the money. Like, it's very clear-cut, I did it for the money of it all, but there is, like, the entitlement of it. I don't know. There's,
Yeah, and I mean, we already have a lot of themes throughout the show of the commodification of feminine-looking bodies. So, is the shell you're wearing now even feminine because that expresses something about you, or because it was a literal decoration intended as a final fail-safe, and you would prefer to be surrounded by decorative female bodies? Like, it's interesting, and like you said, I don't think any of this is in conflict. I think these are interesting lenses to look at this.
I feel like I kind of slipped unconsciously into the reading that he feels he is owed the female form as a decoration and not necessarily that he wants to inhabit that sort of body himself.
Especially because we've already seen a lower brow version of this with the hacker, who lives in, as the Major points out, lives in a shitbox apartment with two, like, dolls. I think she literally calls them dolls. With these two android gynoid bodies that she says are worth more than sports cars.
I wouldn't call it a shitbox
plasma screen
apartment.
At the trailer park. It was good to me, but I've lived in some real shitbox apartments.
He lived behind a chapel in like a cool ass like sci-fi room.
It's the discrepancy, right? Because like I think of the default apartment in 2077, which is like, if you saw the listing for that apartment, you'd say this is a shitbox apartment. This is garbage. The mega building it sits in is like absolute bottom of the barrel. But the apartment itself is actually, like, if you go in there, like, it doesn't even really look like it's part of that building. It looks actually pretty fine.
It's pretty nice.
I think him as the one citizen of this city, which we didn't talk about it, but this is they talk about it and allude to it, and they do it in the manga too, that this is like an old tech city. So, like, the people here are, like, neats. Like, they're all kind of inside kiddo online people.
Oh, nice.
And so him being this, and we had this in Arise, too, with the Sam. Like, I thought of him a lot. I think about that scene a lot in Arise.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then they allude that this guy is, like, actually, like, a politician's, like, or he's a member of Import. It's a choice he's here.
Yeah, I love this. That's a great point, because I love this. It's like a fingerprint of the franchise. It's like, how are we drawing these vulnerable populations? Because the other thing that's drawn very similarly are the Dejima refugees in SAC Season 2.
One other thing to jump off of what we're saying here about he has a right to the body. I think this made me think, we haven't come to a point in this telling of Ghost in the Shell where somebody's lack of access to medical prostheses or cyberization has been an impairment. We have yet to get to a part where somebody couldn't be in their body that they want to be in. Everybody we're shown on screen seems to be doing what they want to do.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, the only gesture I got to that was back with the nurses at the shelling clinic, basically, with the one that said, hey, if for work I didn't have to wear this shell, I would have a weird shell. But that's the only thing, and where you work, to some extent, is voluntary. So I do like that you pointed out, like, a major concern of SAC.
I've had to wear boy clothes when I go to my work at retail to survive.
Are you ever hentai moding at work?
Nico, you bring up the job aspect of it. I think that's extremely relevant. I think the show knows that because one of the offlines we get is the gremlin that we were talking about earlier mentions to the major as she's about to go into Sagawa. He's like, you could just hack the building. And she was like, yeah, but my expensive body that is owned by the government would be vulnerable for like 48 hours or whatever. So I'm just going to go in here and shoot some stuff, you know? Which is A, major pill, but B, like, says something about, like Alice, you mentioned, like, it seems like most people have access to the bodies they want. It's like, well, what does the major have to give up in order to have access to this body?
Which I think that brings us into wrapping up the Bato plot, because that's where the major comes from in that. So
she literally talks about it in the elevator.
You're the we've all been in charge of a group of cadets and one of them died. We've all been in
it's
that
happened
situation.
to every one of us, yeah.
We've all had to give the flag to the parents and explain to them
I
was
was supervising a new employee at IKEA once, yes. And they did die badly.
They did die.
I'm gonna Nico voice. I watched a movie once, and my first off, my thoughts on the military-industrial complex and a volunteer-only army and an American military is all very nuanced. But what I will say is that there's a movie called Taking Chance, and it's a portrayal of a guy who takes a dead soldier home. Kevin Bacon plays it. And yeah, it pulls at the heartstrings, but there's a documentary based on it about the actual guys who like would take the bodies from Iraq to these small towns in the middle of nowhere, and it would be them going to be like, they have to stand next to this body in a small church for the few days that it's in rest for viewing and interact with these communities. And I think like being far away from violence of action and death in warfare is why like politicians can send children to die for things that they shouldn't die for, to kill for things that they shouldn't kill for. But it's those people who are close down. We think of NCOs, non-commissioned officers, and like Bato in this is very much channeling a very specific energy of like, you know, I know that the people I'm training are going to die. I know that the people I work with are in a job where you can get killed in a higher propensity than, you know, more than Taco Bell workers and cops combined. You know, and Taco Bell workers get killed more than cops. Let's all talk about that. But all this to say, Bato is going to the burial ground with the major because the kid son of the dead recruit is there. This is beautiful. The nephew. The scene is beautiful. This is it. You get everything you need. They don't exactly show the confrontation. It's an artistic rendering of
the violence of the confrontation is expressed through the destruction of a bouquet the major has brought, and all of that happens silently with a voiceover over it. But like you don't hear the yelling, you don't see the like direct person to person confrontation. That is
and
expressed
the music here is
through the bouquet.
Insane.
It's crazy.
It's so subtle. It's just like it's very restrained. It's very like minute. But it is so expressive. It really like helps set this like weird, this like very, very, like I said, we're getting so much texture to Bato's character that I'm really, really loving. And I hope we get that for a couple of other characters. But Bato says at the end here, fixating on the what ifs is human nature. And we're just like, I love when we can pause and say like, okay, Bato does have a brain. Bato has values that he's going to stand on, et cetera, et cetera.
He has the range. This episode is a huge Bato range episode. He starts goofy. He has all these funny moments with the Fuchikoma, but he has to go hard. And then he has these emotional moments. This is a great like Bato episode that also was doing like 5 other things.
And so to talk about, just to touch back on what you were talking about with the major and her body, she says in the elevator ride, you know, like, at least he gets to be buried. they're gonna take my body when I die, when my brain dies, and they're just gonna get data from it and repurpose it because it's a government object. And I think that's great.
Or the dark future is someone who works in state government. What they're going to do is take her brain case out of it, and her body will actually be deprecated and unfortunately incompatible with most of the AV hookups in the conference rooms. So they're going to list her on govdeals.com, and you can just get the Major's body as long as you don't end up in a bidding war on a pallet with like 5 other Android bodies. But no hard drives, no brain cases included.
Bleak. Thank you.
Brian is so over my shit.
That was what? That was bleak.
Hey, if you want a gutted computer, go to govdeals.com.
It's really funny to me because there's the game Girls Frontline where they're just like guns are dolls, so they're just cyborg robots, and I imagine opening a crate of Mawson Nagins, but it's just the Major, just like 5 of the same copy of like the shittiest rifle or the shittiest cyborg ever. Anyway. Yeah.
It's all that.
Or it's
the
Gunpla.
iPod.
It's like recycled Gunpla. She comes in a sprue.
Oh, that's so cute. Anyway, R.I.P. Hellshake Yano. His fucking name was Yano.
Have the one panel conclusion to the Tachikomas getting the box as they do in the manga.
Okay. Yeah,
where it turns out it's just like a funny storyteller. So who knows what they're doing with that?
Well, see, and this is another. It's another option for iteration, right? Because in the manga, it's the funny storyteller. In SAC, they literally put the brain of a film director in there. So, like, who knows what we'll get this time? I like that we didn't get the final, like, we don't know what they're going to do with it.
That's what I mean by, like, having it, in, like, it just sort of, like, touches on it, and you know that there's more there that you can kind of imagine, you know?
I want your called shots now. What did the Fuchikoma almost figure out when it connected to the Section 1 tank?
Oh,
and why was it the Puppet Master?
I almost like. Oh, okay.
I'm calling it. I'm calling Puppet Master.
I mean, it might be.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I was just gonna say I kind of don't even really want to speculate on it because I feel like what my hope for is it was just kind of a moment to texture the Fuchikomas as like curious beings, you know? I don't necessarily need that to connect to some bigger answer. But if I had to guess, yeah, I mean, Puppet Master's a pretty good pick because we know that that's probably going to come back, and we haven't gotten a hint on that in like an episode or two. So that's actually not a bad guess, I would say.
To me, there was like some expression of like a universal consciousness. There was like I, we. It was really struggling to conceive of itself as a singular, which is why I said there was ego death. But I really liked it. I read a book one time to do Alice's impression of me. But no, I think this is a pretty well-known book. So the Murderbot Diaries, very well known by Martha Wells. So one of the things that Murderbot does, like the first thing you find out about it that Murderbot has done is it has hacked its own brain, because there is documentation on how all of its shit works on the company drives. And it downloaded that and learned it and used it to hack itself. And I just think it would be really interesting because what the Fuchikoma says when it connects to the tank is, oh, you're just a brain right now. You don't have a barrier. So there was nothing to stop it from accessing the full design, breadth, all of it of the brain of this device that is very like itself. So I feel like the Fuchikoma had the experience of looking at your own brain. Understanding that kind of thing, which is really cool. I don't know what it could mean, but I like that as an idea.
I like that a lot too. Yeah, that's good.
Were there any mechs in this episode? We had the Type 24 armored suits.
Yes.
We had the Fuchikomas. Yes. We had some sick ass shell shuffling. This shit was great. Just so good. Guess we should just do the ratings now.
Alice, what are you feeling?
This one, hey. Somebody else in this run already did it, but this one's gonna be my 11. I'm calling it now. This was my 11 for this run. This shit is so sick. I want to become a Greek statue woman who pilots other robots elsewhere. Like, that shit is so sick. And also, the way Bato fights the dick gun by, like, kicking it away is so
good.
And it just keeps shooting, but it has an autocannon sound. I was,
Bri, what are you feeling?
Yeah, I've been 11 for 2 days in a row or 2 weeks in a row, and this is week 3. Like, I can't go down. Like, there's no way. Something has to go lower in quality, and unfortunately, the show does not appear to be capable of doing that.
I love this trend that is emerging.
We poppin'. I am also at 11. This is my first 11. I tried to really adhere. I tried to really... Yeah, what's one level above the Hyakushiki? Because we're giving it to this episode. But
we have to decide that when we cover the series comprehensively, I think.
Yeah. But for me, this was already like a really cool episode. There's a lot of cool stuff happening in it. But the military Type 24, the way that thing fucking moves... I have been chasing the high.
I knew you were going to freak out about that.
Yeah, I've been chasing the high of the way that the Evangelion unit moves.
Yes.
Since I saw it. That animalistic, almost like weird flexibility of joints and things like this. This thing had gecko energy. It had like really freaky energy. And then
it had 6 of them. It was freaky.
And it had the dick / stinger gun, because it's positioned like either a hornet stinger or like a dick. And it is firing like that. And its main move seems to be to jump on people, pin them with one of its many arms, and then get them in position to just obliterate their body with that gun. And I was already like, this is a really cool robot. And then somebody said it was a armored suit. And I'm like, oh, so that's straight up a mech that's free.
Yeah.
They even say there's soldiers in there. They might be hacked, but they're soldiers.
There's soldiers in there. It goes crazy. It goes crazy. Everything in this episode is great. This is another peak Fuchikoma episode. We got the Seeing Your Own Brain. A Fuchikoma shoplifts. It's a really good episode, but that is what for me was like.
There was a tank. A think tank was wrapped up for shipping. Oh.
Yeah, so to keep your high rating
Sign
on fucking
delivery
Vinted.
For your think tank.
I'm putting my fucking think tank on Depop, and I need a good seller rating.
So how much was the Major A Gremlin this episode? I'm gonna say I think she was surprisingly competent this entire episode.
This was not a Gremlin Major episode. I don't think we got a single Gremlin moment.
Except for when she stole gold at the end, and Aramaki let her.
that was not a like earlier she was like, I want to steal the briefcase full of money, and Aramaki's like, no, Major. They stole 1 gold bar, and they say in the episode that it went to Yano, the killed rookie's grieving family.
Yeah, the Major stole it and put it in, or Togusa did, I think, actually, right?
Yeah, one of them. But the team as a whole is expressing this care, like Ishikawa with the bribe to the coroner, with this theft, like this, and then with the Major going out on the limb to take the flowers and go with Bato, even though both she and Aramaki literally say, like, I don't know what to say to Bato. Which is such a great moment of vulnerability between them as, like, the actual head of the agency versus the on-the-ground commander. I loved that as a moment of alignment of, like, we don't know how to provide care for this subordinate in our team.
Well, because that's what Bato does. He's the heart of the team. And so when he's knocked out, it's like, well, shit.
Yeah.
It's like when Alice has a panic attack and has to buy people bagels and we're really sad and we don't know.
Leave her alone.
And that's this episode of On the Show. Hey, guys, I'm glad that we live in a time... Hey, Hope posting. We live in a time where you can have a panic attack at work, and you can buy bagels the next day to make up for your panic attack. And that's
that's huge.
Here's my prompt to the OSG Discord. Say something nice about Alice in the episode chat.
Read an assignment, Popcorn Brian.
This is from Motoko Kusanagi herself, posting from National Shitposting Agency, just to shout out the domain here. I don't really know what that's supposed to mean. Anyway, hey OSG, I'm writing because I have a dilemma I need help with. My boss, a literal ape in a poorly fitting human suit, won't give me a raise. Sure, I make good pay, but I need fat stacks so that I can get more mods for my cyborg body to further enhance the countless lesbian orgies I find myself in. What can I do to generate some revenue on the side that won't jeopardize my position in public security? And no, before you say I'm not setting up an account on Only Cyborgs, I'm a professional. Yours truly, Motoko Kusanagi, Public Security Section 9. I have to refute you, Motoko Kusanagi. You are not a professional. You are a gremlin, and you should set up an Only Cyborgs with a different body.
Using your corporate email signature was brave. Is first what I want to say.
Why'd you send this from work? This is discoverable.
we don't really know how much the Major makes in this show. In Standalone Complex, we see that the Major has multiple penthouse suites, right?
So,
and then sometimes the implication seems to be that she only gets paid in maintenance. Like the body is her.
I think the implication is she does have side hustles. She's always had side hustles on the side. It's very much implied in the shows that she is like doing shit on the side, right?
Sorry, I just got the image. I get a text from Motoko Kusanagi. Uber Eats here. I am outside, and I look outside. She's outside my fucking window, and she shoots through it, and then hands me my Taco Bell. And it does a backflip.
The side hustle.
And I'm like, I have a ground floor home. Why are you backflipping?
She shoots through it, and you have a ground floor home. You take the Taco Bell, and she like dives backwards and turns invisible, but the ground is right there, so
She
you just see the
lays
dirt move
directly
as
on
she
the
falls
grass.
down. Yeah.
She makes a thump, and then a chicken steps on her.
Fucking awful. No, because like the thing is, right, Alice, I think you're right most of the time. I mean, it depends on the major, right? Because like I mentioned in my Solid State Society essay, in that movie, she's actually not even working for Section 9, but she has like 9 bodies that she hops between, and they all appear to have different intelligence jobs.
Yep.
And so like it kind of depends on the moment. But I would say, yeah, the major is definitely not open to other lines of work. There's that moment. This is not a direct thing. I just think of it a lot. There's that moment in the 95 movie where she is like on her way into the office or something, and she sees that other woman in a pantsuit that has the same body as her. There's ground there, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I'll say as an answer to this question is, you've just found a great asset, and I don't think you have to declare it because like. This was there's a lot of, like, listen, if they ask what was the guy's real body, there's a meat snake you can point at and say that was
meat
it.
Snake. Yeah.
Meat snake.
You need to repossess the Greek marble woman body, get that shit fixed up, and then use that for your Only Cyborgs account. You are going to make huge money off the Vaporwave
empire
crowd.
with different bodies.
Yeah. But the Vaporwave crowd, that's money.
So as I'm gonna bring my experience as somebody who has many lesbian sex orgies. So that's what I'm bringing to the podcast here, which is a great side hustle is just sending Venmo requests. Like most people won't, but you'll get enough if you just hit up everybody constantly. And like honestly, do a little scamming. Hey grandma, it's me, Jesus. Need a couple bucks because I'm in Albuquerque jail. And it's like, yeah.
You know, there's you know what you could do, because there's a lot of those like high-minded, well-meaning celebrities that are like, post your report cards and I'll pay for your college. You could doctor a report card. Like you could like you
I
could be
love
like,
the implication that she couldn't get a good grade.
Wait,
well,
no,
it's not
you're
that, wait, hold on. Let me clarify. It's not that she couldn't get a good grade. It's that she's not in fucking high school.
That makes more sense.
Here's what I'll say. You, as a super wizard class hacker, have an ethical obligation to steal from the rich and give to the poor. That's all I'm
Bankrupt
saying.
Elon Musk. That's your side hustle.
Yeah, remember, okay, do you know how much I think about the fact that this guy was obsessed with that one adult actress who was at that dinner with him and was like creeping her out and like all that shit? And I was like, okay, completely understandable, queen. Like, I wouldn't want to sit next to him. He has a rancid energy. He has a he has a South African accent. Very scary. I understand. But also, you could have gotten in there. You could have destroyed this man from the inside. He bought Twitter because he was too upset about posting. You could have destroyed this man.
Yep.
Yeah.
But also, like, you can be in any body for Only Cyborgs. Like, just jump into another body.
This is
no
what I'm
one
saying.
knows.
This is what I'm saying. You could have an empire. You could be every porn star on onlycyborgs.com.
Hey, and also, your girlfriends have expensive tastes and they want to spend more time with you anyway. Why don't you all get in on it and cooperate to make some content? Like, become like a hype house, but for Only Cyborgs.
Yeah.
Just like recreate Second Life in the virtual world. You can do something with that. Make it Roblox, but sexy. I don't know.
Hey, Major,
I'm
have you
pitching.
decided to invent Roblox yet?
Also, just to reiterate, let's flip the script here, Miss Major Kusanagi. You can be a professional and a sex worker because sex work is a profession.
Yeah, sex work is real work. Have you considered
Yeah.
unionizing people?
Yeah. So jot that down.
I'm a sex
Get it there with your
volunteer.
GFs. I'm a sex conscript to the army of the unethical sex war.
Brian's a sex conscientious objector.
Oh.
Thanks for listening, pilots. If you have any thoughts on this show, you can send those thoughts to us at questions@osgpod.com or send us questions as Motoko did. And non-pilots can send your own questions or feedback to that same address. You can also catch up with us on social media. Links are in the description for updates and more. You'll find a link to the show Discord. Come and discuss this episode. You have homework.
Yes.
Make sure to check back next week where we'll be covering episode 6 as we go into the second half of this show. Till then, goodbye. I love you.
What if we held hands in the terrorism-proof pod?
Vaporwave gynoid feet pics.
That's what Nico's been Googling this whole time.